Hello and welcome to the last transmission. Welcome back, Holly.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, I feel like it's been
Yay.
weeks
It has
since
been
we did it.
weeks. It's because it has been weeks.
Yeah, I did my whole trial of the Time Lord, which that was lit, man. I loved it, but that was so long. So back to Babylon 5. Holly, what episode did we watch this week?
The purple one.
The purple one, Born to the Purple, which at first I was like a little confused because I was like, what?
I still
um
didn't understand the purple bit.
the purple bit. Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Wait, did I
Actually, I
just
need
miss
to
that in the episode?
dismiss the I'll get to
I missed the
I'll
title.
explain
I
it,
didn't
man.
understand.
I'll explain it.
Oh,
But
thank you.
first of all, we have to go through what happened in the episode because a lot went down in this episode.
Indeed, it did.
It did. So, um, jumping straight into it, we start off the episode. Londo in the club, and Sinclair and Jakar turn up, and apparently Londo's been putting off negotiations, something like a Euphrates Treaty. They have a treaty. He's avoiding it like the plague. Finally find him, yeah, and then they're like
He's
all
watching
together.
dancing.
Yeah, he's watching this lady, and
He's
then
slacking off.
for real, and Jakar's new what does it say, attaché? Yeah, I don't know what is assistant basically, like
Oh yeah,
Londo has
she's
Veer.
quite diva.
Yeah, but his new assistant person, Code Ziath. I really probably butchered that. I don't remember them saying it. Do you
They
know how
must have
it's pronounced? Yeah.
no idea. I
Okay,
think
anyway, assistant lady comes,
yes.
and this kind of cracked because at first Jakar's like drinking something, and then she rocks up and he spits it out, and he's like, man, you're not meant to be here. And she's like, yeah, I came early. He doesn't
Oh yeah,
sound
that was
very
quite funny. And
happy.
he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I wasn't expecting you for years,
Oh, wait,
weeks,
wait, wait.
weeks."
Whoops. Yeah. At first I was like, is that his mum? Because it kind of seemed like she had this negative, disappointed mother energy.
She does have that disappointed mother energy, yes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about. But anyway, he Jakar takes her to show her her quarters, and then Londo is still watching this dancer on stage, and it's like this beautiful young Centauri lady. So he gets out of there, goes to his quarters, and she's there. So yeah, cut back to Garibaldi. He's back.
He's still
Garibaldi,
alive.
he's still there. And he is looking, and he's like, hold on, there's unauthorized use of the gold channel. So let me just find that bit because I need to explain what the gold channel is. So it's like a communication band thingy. It's meant to be this really encrypted high security communication channel thing from what I understand, and only Earth Force command staff or high level diplomats are allowed to access this channel. So someone has used that, and they shouldn't have, allegedly. So Garibaldi's like, man, gotta get to the bottom of this. So he tells Sinclair about it, and then he's like, man, I'm gonna look into this. Sinclair, in the meantime, is waiting for Malar. Oh no, waiting for Londo, and Shakar and his assistant, or both of their assistants actually. Talia Winters, the telepath lady, is also there waiting.
Yeah, and she
Um,
has to leave the room because too much, which is interesting with like how she blocks it all out because technically telepaths can't be listening into everything that you are thinking
yeah,
about,
they
but
have
she
the
finds it difficult.
regulations.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she finds it
psycho
difficult
regulations.
too because if there's strong emotions, it's a bit Deanna Troy, she can sense them.
Yeah, and it's overwhelming for her. And it says that she is sensing the anger and stuff and everything, and she's like, there's so many, and Londo, she's sensing his emotions, and it's just too much. So she
She
leaves
needs
the
time
room.
out.
Yeah, Sinclair is follows her and is talking, and then he tells her about Earth Alliance is really interested in getting a peaceful settlement of the situation. So that's kind of what they're trying to, it's basically just more peace negotiations basically. that's what a lot of it keeps on happening. We keep on coming back to, it's kind of the point of Babylon 5. Most of the time it's just the beef between the Centauri and the Narn, and just trying to like try and make
One
them kind
piece.
of, yeah. So Londo is at his quarters and he's with the dancer he saw in the club. Her name is Adira.
Which,
And
fun
she's like,
fact about
yeah,
the actress. The actress
yeah.
has been in an episode of Quantum Leap, and I didn't know where
Oh,
she was from because in Quantum Leap she was Hungarian supposedly, but I was like,
oh,
nah, that accent is like not
oh yeah.
Hungarian. But she's actually an Italian American actress who was born in
Damn.
Argentina and then grew up in Italy.
Quite a background.
Yeah, but she's
Just
in an
some lore.
episode of Quantum Leap, so I was like, I've seen her before, and I looked it up and I was like,
Oh.
Quantum Leap. I thought it was you.
Did she shave her head for the role? Because that's a very
Um,
smooth
from
head.
close inspection, it was a bald cap that like went up
Oh,
to her hair,
that's a
and
really
it
good
made
bald
me,
cap.
but it made me think of the medieval period because a
Yeah.
really really high forehead was seen
Oh,
as
I
very
know.
very
They used to
beautiful.
pluck their hairline
Yeah,
or
used to
something.
pluck hair and then get a hairline like mine. Um.
Yeah, me too.
That's just because
Which is
I've
kind
had
of cracked. I feel like it's one thing to pluck your eyebrows or something, but your hairline, that must like that does not
yeah,
sound pleasant.
there's so many
But
pictures of it because I was just like, actually, you know what? The girls were onto something with that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
beauty.
actually, I mean, I went from the last podcast episode, we saw Perry in that bold cap, and that was not very well done bold cap. You like could see the like outline of it and everything. So this bold cap was like you could not see like the edges or
Mm.
anything.
It went
Like
up
it was
to
so
her
well
hair,
done.
and
And
you
then she
could
had the
see
pony.
like a flap of it where her hair is, and they
Oh,
built it and they
okay.
put like a band around it so it
Because I
can
was like,
like
man, it's
it
so
doesn't really look like
smooth.
that. But yeah, I drew fan out of her
Oh,
with her bald
cool,
head.
cool.
I drew her a lot because I was like, I love that bald head while taking
Yeah,
notes.
yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
like how the females and the males both have their distinct hairstyles. Because obviously,
Mm.
like the men have the like
We
peacock
love
looking.
Londo's hair.
Oh, cool. And yeah, and then can you take a picture and send it to me?
Oh yeah, I will do.
Can I like put it on something?
If you want
Patreon.
to.
Just the
Ignore
little,
like the random doodles. They're like little notes because I
yeah,
doodle
just a
taking
little
notes.
little thing.
Mm.
But yeah, and then the females have the shaven head except for the ponytail. Anyway, Veer like contacts Londo and says, Londo man, you are over an hour late to the negotiations. You were meant to be here ages ago. And Londo is like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'll be there soon. And then he asked Londo, he said, okay, when I get there, you have to have some hot jala waiting for him. Which I was like, what is that? At first, I thought he said hot jello. So I was like, is
That's
he just gonna
gross.
have some hot jelly? What's going
Yeah, get
on?
me some of that hot jello. I don't want that cold stuff.
And I tried to look at what hot jala was, and all it said was a green liquid. And I was like, I already knew that. I saw it. So it's like this weird, like green liquid looking stuff in like a cocktail glass
Mm.
type, or is it a
I
martini
wonder
glass?
what
The
they
like
used
triangle
for it.
looking. Yeah, I don't
Because,
know.
like, I love finding out, I'll find that out maybe, but I love finding out,
Yeah,
like, what different liquids they use for all the random, like, space drinks. I think in,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
DS9 for Kanar, they used corn syrup in the later seasons. I don't know what they used when it was
Um,
blue, but they changed it
yeah.
randomly to, like, being thick. How it worked
Oh,
out is
bro.
the designers were like, what do we want this to be like? And they ask all the questions up to the guys at the top who's writing, and they're like,
Yeah.
thick. So they come back down to the guy that has to go and pay for it, and they're like, thick, what's thick? Corn syrup. So
Yeah.
Casey Biggs had to down a like whole pint of
Oh,
corn syrup every single day. And there's like one episode where he
oh,
didn't
bro.
drink corn syrup and he was
Do you think
so
you would like
thankful.
gain weight or something, or like
I
have to
don't
like
know.
take
That's just
something? Because that
gross.
just you would just like want to throw up or something.
I don't think I could do it. And I've been tempted to like get a thing of corn syrup and just like
And
sip it to see
also,
what it'd be like.
like you have to sip it and just you're doing it while
But
you're
he like
acting, so you just
downs
have
the
to act
thing.
normal. Like you have
He
to just
downs
do
the
it and
thing and
not
you
make
can
a
see the
face or
pain in his
something.
eyes. There's like a
He's just,
tear like oscillating.
yeah.
It
Man,
glistens in the
this is
starlight.
such a nice drink. Can I have some more, please?
Can I have another? Hit me
Man, I
again with
love
that
this drink.
Quark.
So yeah, yeah. So he has the hot jala.
It
Cut
could be
back to
Jello for all we know.
Garibaldi in CNC. He tells Susan about the Gold Channel abuse. She doesn't seem like that bothered by it. You know, she's like she's tells him, you know, she'll look into it when she can, but in the meantime, he should monitor the channels for any more misuse. Cut back to Londo. He rocks in to the negotiations and he's like real happy and stuff. And he's like, man, I am sorry. Let's begin the negotiations. And he
Mm.
looks at Veer and he's like, man, you're such a treasure, Veer. After like Veer gives him his beverage, which is like, man, can you imagine like some like government person like rocking up
You a treasure.
late to like rocking up late to like some like really serious
Major
peace talks.
conference. You a
Like
treasure.
imagine, okay, imagine like, okay, maybe this is a bit unhinged, but imagine like some like Trump and like Putin, and like one of them like rocks up late and they have like some weird looking drink thing and they're
It could
like
be Jello.
drinking it out of like nowhere. It's like no one else has any beverages or anything, and you're just drinking this. It's like cracked, man. That's
You a treasure.
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
then
start
you're
saying
like,
that.
man, you're a treasure. Thanks for my hot jala. Because I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
I wish I knew.
he's just
I
really
just
happy
want to.
that he's got a girl, you know?
Yeah, he's happy. He's like, man, I got this. I was like, man, what's the age difference between him and Nadira? Because she looks like very very young.
She still looks like that though. She hasn't changed. I looked at a picture of her now and I was like, oh damn.
Damn,
How
aged.
does she do
I
that?
just I just
She's
looked
like
at
Jeffrey
Jala and
Combs.
apparently Jala is a Centauri beverage, but the recipe is really, really alcoholic. So that makes it so much worse. You're like in these peace negotiations, you're just drinking like alcohol. That's cracked. Surely that should not be let in. But anyway, that happens. But that was just a funny scene. Anyway, we cut to Adira's quarters, and she walks in and I think it's dark or something. Do you remember that bit?
Wait. Where are we at? Whose quarters? Adira's
Adira,
quarters. Yes. Is this when we find out what she up to?
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, there's like this guy in there, jump scare, and
Yup.
she's confronted by her alien master Trackis. So basically, we find out he owns her because she's a slave,
Modern day
and
slavery is addressed in this episode.
yeah, and apparently he's using her because he wants something called the purple files. So he's like,
Oh,
have you
that's why it's the
stolen?
purple. I don't know
Yeah,
how I looked
yeah.
over that.
He asks her, have you stolen the purple files from Londo yet? And she's like, no, I haven't. It's been harder than I thought. And he is like not happy. And he like grabs her face and he has this like weird glove thing and like electrical something tries to like use the electric on her face and she's in pain and stuff. So he's like
Very
threatening
rude.
her. And then he's like mocking her for being a slave. And he's like,
Lol, you
tonight,
slave.
yeah, he gives her a mind probe and he's like, tonight you are getting those purple files. Um
Tonight, we'll be partying.
she's not happy. She's quite distressed because she loves Londo and she doesn't want to betray him. But obviously, she doesn't have much of a choice because she's a slave. So anyway, like a little time jump to the evening. Londo arrives at Adira's quarters, and he brings a bouquet of star laces. So let me have a look at what that is. Okay, so they're like a native flower to the Centauri planet, and it's like a quite a rare thing. So you know, you don't just like come across these like just in the shop. He specifically grew them for her.
That's so
And they're
cute.
they're considered a luxury item, so they're very expensive to buy. But
Especially on like the space station, like to
definitely,
import them
yeah,
in
you have
somehow.
to, yeah. But anyway, he gives her them, and then he has a brooch that he gives her, And he says it's from the old days of the Republic, and it belonged to one of his family members. And she's like, man, I can't accept this. It's like an heirloom type thing. And he's like, no, you must take it. And then after that, she puts it on and she's like, oh, you're probably hungry after all your negotiations. Let me make you something to eat. And he's like, well, how about we go out for dinner? And she's like, what? And he's like, well, I've already made reservations at this place called Fresh Air. I don't know why it's called that, but
Because they
it's
don't
a
get a lot of fresh air in space.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
like apparently it's apparently like the best, like
Do you think
the most
they
high-end place.
do you think they find fresh air from the nearest planet, get a guy to get like a bag of it, swoop it all up, and then bring it onto the
Have a
space
look.
station to release in that restaurant every now and again?
That would be correct,
That would
That's
make it that it's like, have you ever had like one of those really, really fancy experiences? I have once. I had tea. I went to like a really fancy tea thing, and
yeah.
they sprayed lavender scent over the back of my head, and they're like, what that, and I was like, that
What's
I
going on?
paid for that. I didn't want that. That
Damn.
wasn't food. I didn't eat
That
that. I just
was
smelt that.
very
It's like, that's the
heathen.
appetizer.
Oh. It always annoys me, when you go to a fancy restaurant and it's like a really bite-sized portion and it's hella expensive. It's
Yeah.
like, man, if I go to a restaurant, I should be like leaving, like feeling like I'm gonna like give birth to something. Like I should be
Yeah.
leaving full and like not thinking I can eat anything ever again, get my money's worth. But anyway, so apparently, is Babylon 5's the most expensive high class and the only 5-star restaurant, which is like, man, you have one 5-star restaurant on the station, but
That's a bit sad, but
yeah. So apparently the main dining area is roofless, so you can see like the interior of like the station central
we hope
core.
it's not
So like
actually
the roof.
roofless though.
Yeah, no, 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 not actually
Out to this
like
void of
the
space.
vacuum. Yeah. But anyway, she's kind of surprised because she's like, "Are you not ashamed to be seen with me? Because you're an ambassador and I'm this dancer, and like, people will talk and stuff. What will they say?" And he says, "Well, they'll say, how lucky I am to be with you." And he says, status and appearances mean everything to the Centauri. He doesn't care about that because she means more to him than any of that. So that's that. Cut back to the office. Garibaldi is alerted that another Gold Channel violation occurs. So he's trying to like track it and like get to the bottom, but something stops him from being able to. So that's, he's annoyed at that. We go back to Fresh Air because Sinclair's now taking Talia to Fresh Air.
Bit
Because
odd, but
she's had a
okay.
hard day and like stressed and
Oh, that's
stuff.
why they were there. I was like,
Yeah. What's going on?
suspicious?
Yeah.
Suspicious?
Yeah, it's like, man, it's the least I could do, man. You're like having a crisis from all these like people. But
Like, I would have thought bringing her to a place full of people would have been worse.
yeah, that's true. Like, surely, like, take her to the Zen garden or something. That seems
Yeah, get
like
that
what
Zen
she
garden.
needs.
That's really cute.
But yeah, and they go in there and sit down, and like right across, like from them is Londo and Adira. So like that's like not what she needed. But yeah, that happens. Cut back to Garibaldi. He's back to CNC, and he says to Susan that the thing that stopped him from being able to track the Gold Channel violation came through ICE. So let me just explain what ICE is, because I was like, what is that? Because I kept on saying it and I didn't understand. But apparently it's like a security thing. I don't know what an example would be, but it's like maybe it's like a VPN type thing. Or maybe that's not. Actually, ignore that
It's
comparison.
NordVPN. Not sponsored, not sponsored.
Not sponsored, not sponsored. Please sponsor. Just kidding. You just I but it's like a making sure that nothing can be intruded on in the computer. Like it's like I guess if you're on WhatsApp, right, no one can interfere with that supposedly because there's like security and stuff. So this is like the security to make sure you can't like interfere with people's calls and stuff, or at least
No.
that's what's supposed to be. But yeah, so it's like a bit alarming that something within that stopped him from being able to track the violation. So he was like, the only thing he was able to work out was that the destination from the Russian consortium, from
Russian?
Russia basically. So he figured
Здравствуйте,
out
как
that
дела, мой друг?
he worked out that the thing came from Russia. So yeah, I don't know.
He
And
did
Susan is
some
kind of,
big detective work and was like, it must come from the Russian girly pops on board.
yeah, and then she's like teasing him about it, and she's like, "Man, you must be imagining something. There ain't no way Russia like is behind this." Like she's like that, why would Russia be trying to like we're in space, bro? Why would they be trying to like mess you up? So
Space race all over again.
space race. Yeah, that would be cracked, man. Like a really like they're so deep into space at this point that it's like, man, how many like I don't know.
Cool.
Okay, cut back to Londo. He's in his quarters. Adira is there. Oh, she's like, I'm gonna get you a drink, Londo. So like he goes to the other room while she does that. And she like does it really suspiciously. Like she looks stressed as heck. But she gets a bottle of it looks like champagne or something, pours the
Mm.
drinks for her and him, and in his one she puts a pill in it. So it's a sedative. So he like drinks the entire thing, taking the full dose of it. And like he's talking and then he kind of passes out and then she gets the mind probe, puts it on him. While it's on him, she's like asking him questions and he's like, "What's the password to the purple files?" And he's like mumbling it as he's like in his like
Something about
out of
women
it
and
state.
alcohol, from what I remember.
Something like that. He's yabbering on a little bit. But eventually she gets the password out of him. So she kind of, and then he kind of gets fully unconscious at that point. Like he took the entire, it's not like he had a little sip, he drank the entire thing.
He
He
downed
couldn't
it like
resist.
he downed it like Damar downs that Canar.
Yeah. Like alcohol is like his best friend or something. But
Mm.
yeah. So anyway, she downloads them onto a data crystal, which I kind of like that they like instead of like USBs or whatever, they use data crystals.
Which
And
is
that's
very
quite cute.
Kryptonian.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just like little crystals. So anyway, and then she like leaves the quarters, but before she does that, she leaves the brooch that he gave her. So little bit of a time skip. The following morning, he kind of wakes up and he's like kind of confused what's going on. But like Veer just like enters his quarters and like is talking really loudly, and Lando's got like a massive headache. So he's like, Veer, shut up, man. He's like, Veer is like, he's very ADHD actually. I feel like Veer,
Very
like he's very
energetic.
hyper. Yeah,
He's the
and also,
hyperactive side of it. And I
and
don't think he quite gets social cues all the time.
that's just me. like, like you can see someone's in pain and he just carries on. It's
He's
like
just
me
like,
talking to my
okay.
brother. Yeah. And actually, really funny thing I forgot to mention, during these negotiations, he keeps on pulling out this like Game Boy looking thing, and he's just like a
Yeah.
little child. He keeps on just gaming. So that's kind of funny. Um but anyway, and it's a very 80s looking like little handheld console. It's really
I feel
funny.
like I had
He's
one
just
of
a
those.
child. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, Viz's like yabbering on about something, and Londo is like really confused because like last thing he remembers is like being with Adira, and suddenly he's like by himself and like doesn't really remember anything. And then he looks at the table and he sees the brooch, and he's like, "Wait, what happened?"
Something's
And
not right
then
about this.
yeah, and he's like not feeling good. And then Veer's talking about the negotiations, and like Londo couldn't care less about the negotiations.
Mm-mm.
Like he really
He needs
doesn't
his
care
waifu.
for real. And so he's like talking. He's like, okay, or do you want to say what he tells Veer?
Didn't he say something like he wanted Veer to take head of the negotiations and he was
Yeah,
gonna go find his girl.
yeah. He's like, you know what, Veer? And Veer at first was like, no, why? Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like he's not very confident. And
He's
he's
like, no,
like,
you
come
need to
on.
stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah, he's like, man, you can do it, man. You'll be good at it. So he then Veer like feels better. He's like, oh, okay, I can do this. So he gives him the full ambassadorial authority. So he's like got the power. And then right at the end, he's like, okay, whatever you do, do not give away the homeworld though. You have all authority, but please, please do not give away the homeworld.
We can't recover
Um,
from that.
yeah, that's a little too much, man. Like, do your thing, but like, not that, just a quick tip, as if that's not like obvious. But
That would be the one thing
anyway,
he'd do. Or
yeah,
they
he
would be
would.
like, in this negotiation, can we have the homeworld? And he'd be like, yeah.
Like he would fall into
Something
some
like
like
that.
like very obvious trap or something. They'd be like, I think your higher ups would be very
Danger this
pleased if
way, and
you
he'd
did
be like,
that.
oh, well, that sounds like a nice
If
shortcut.
Lando were here, this is what he would do. And then he'd be like, oh, okay, I'll just do that. So anyway, Adira is contacted by Trakis, her owner. And she's like, okay, I got the files. And they arranged to like a meeting place to so she can give them to him. So she goes there, but then she kind of like sees him in the distance, and there's a lot of people around. It's a very crowded, busy area. And then she kind of sees him, and then like she's like she doesn't want to give them to him. So she kind of runs away, and he
Mm.
tries to like follow her. And he's kind of running and pushing past these people, and like he bumps into a guy, and the guy's like, "You want to scrap?" Not those exact words, but like kind of that kind of thing. He's like, yeah, not happy. And so he loses her, she kind of just she escapes. So good for her, man.
She got that coin.
She does. So Trakis is like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to like change my strat. So he goes and finds Londo, and well, actually, he goes to Dira's quarters, and Londo's there, because he's looking for her. They're both looking for her. And then
Yeah, and
Trakis
he's
is
like, she
like,
ain't here, she ain't here.
yeah, he breaks the news that Adira is actually a slave, and he's like, did you know she's actually a non-agent? And then Londo's like, no, she's not. And he's like, yes, she is. Actually, she's just using you. And while he's saying this, Trakis like puts a bug on Londo, and like so he can track him. And he's like taunting him, and he's like, she's just using you. You're so stupid and stuff. And Londo's like really overwhelmed, and he's like, get out of here. So he
And
leaves.
even then, he's like still like, man, I love women. She can
Yeah,
have that coin. I
he's
just need
like
to make sure she's
completely.
okay.
Yeah, he's complete. Actually, it's quite nice, because he can be quite deceptive, but in this way, you kind of see his like nice side. He just cares for her, and actually, he can't believe it. He's like he doesn't want to believe it that she would just use him. So yeah, cut back to the negotiations, and Vin's like really excited about it. He's like, man, I'm gonna do this, and like Jakar is not happy about it, and
Mm,
he's like, I'm only gonna do this with Londo. Like,
I
why is
will
he
not take
sending you?
another insult like this.
Yeah, he's like, Londo is not taking this seriously at all. Because to be fair, he hasn't, and Jakar's like hella offended. But he's like, well, I guess Londo's getting his assistant to do this, so I'm gonna get mine. He just gives his assistant the authority, and then he says, okay, you're gonna do this, but don't give away the homeworld. So
Mm,
he's basically just said to his assistant what Londo said to his assistant. So as a kind of a funny parallel.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like Londo, they're both so similar, and that's
I
probably half
know.
they're so different and so similar, and that's probably why they don't get along.
I always come back to this, but it's like the Master and the Doctor. It's like they're so similar, like their lives and everything about them is so similar, but they're enemies, They're like kind of
Mm.
so the same and opposite at the same time. Anyway, Sinclair smells a rat, and he's like, I'm gonna have to find Londo. So he's like, Tally, you gotta keep them talking, man. Like, buy me some time. So he goes finds Londo, and Londo he's like looking into it, and he's like, oh, the purple files have been copied, and he wants to go find Adira. And actually, this bit, actually, I'll do it in a minute. Sinclair finds Londo, um, and confronts him. He's like, you're meant to be negotiating, Londo, and you keep on wriggling your way out of it. Like, and Londo is like telling him what's happened. And he's like, please, you're my only friend that can help me with this. So, right now, I'm going to explain what the purple files are because, that's obviously a really important thing. So,
Mm.
basically, they're Londo secret family files. So they contain basically it's like blackmail. They contain a lot of dirt. They contain a lot of dirt on most of the noble houses of the Centauri. Um,
Why you would have just a convenient file all there
yeah, I
beyond
don't
me.
really know. Like that seems not great, but wants to exploit it so he can make some money out of it. And actually, if the information got out, it could lead to the downfall of the whole Republic, Centauri Republic. But also, it'd completely ruin Londo's reputation. And so basically it's just a load of blackmail, which is kind of weird that you just like collect all your anything that could be used against you and like put it into one place.
And the fact that people know about it, like, man.
Yeah, it seems very not smart to do. Like surely you'd want to spread all of that.
We'll just not have
Like
it.
so it's really hard to track down and piece together. So anyway, Sinclair is like, okay, I'll help you only if you will agree to our compromise on the treaty that we're negotiating. So Londo's like, yes, okay, I will do that.
I'd seal it
So
with a kiss.
oh, that's what he
It's
said.
his
Yeah, he's like, I'll
words.
even seal it with a kiss. So, that's how much he cares about it. He's just like, fine, anything. So, Sinclair is like, I could file a report. And Londo's like, no, you cannot do that. If this gets out, I'm done for. So, they secretly go to the club where Dira works to try and like talk to her co workers and stuff, the other dancers, to try and like figure out where she is. So they go during closed hours, and they're talking to the club owner. And after a little bit of convincing, he lets them see the dancers. And then they're all like there in a group. And Londa's like, can anyone tell me about Adira? And as he says that, he holds up like this gold coin thingy. And as soon as they see the gold coin, they're like, oh, well,
Yeah, we want that
actually,
coin. No,
yeah,
literally.
yeah. They're very bribable. But they're
Which is
like, oh
base.
well, that she's actually with a friend in Brown sector. So that was actually really easy, Probably the
That's all it
easiest
took.
thing.
But
Yeah, it's like,
unfortunately,
oh,
remember, Londo is bugged.
he is. So actually, Trackis heard all that. So he also knows where Adira is at this point. Sinclair, and Londo head over to where she is. And Trackis actually hires two like guys to delay Sinclair and Londo so he can reach her first. So Sinclair and Londo are like trying to get to her, but they're like being attacked by these two people with guns. But then like Trackis has actually gotten to Adira, so like everything's blowing up, not good situation. Cut back to Garibaldi. I like how there's like little like side plots. Like
Yeah, I like
Garibaldi's
that as
like
well. It's
it's
very
it's funny.
DS9 in that sense, where there's
It
like
is,
multiple stories going on at once, and it keeps me
yeah,
very entertained.
it is. And I did want to mention there's a lot of really good backing tracks to this. I do really like the music in Babylon 5, like
It
the
is.
little backing
Babylon
music and
5
stuff.
is just DS9, but with like what 10 times better music. Like
I
the
don't know who
music in
did the
it, I can't
music,
fault
but
it.
they cooked with it, man.
They cooked.
Um,
They cooked,
anyway,
ate it, and then had a second course.
for real, man. Anyway, Ivanova, sorry, Susan contacts Garibaldi and he's like, there's gunfire in Brown 7. You gotta go check it out, man. This is not good. So, instead of going himself, for some reason, he orders a team. And then he's still trying to figure out this whole, like, gold channel thing. So he has, like, a computer running on a monitor. So he's just not doing his job. He's just fully involved in this like
He's
security
hyper
breach.
focusing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's not good. Commander and ambassador being shot at. Well, someone else can
Damn,
deal with that. I have
that's
more
sad.
important things to do. Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
So yeah, back to Sinclair and Londo. Sinclair says, we've got enough things that we can just arrest Trackers. Londo's like, no, it would be made public and it would ruin my career. Trackers can also harm Adira if he was arrested. So he's like, I can't let him hurt Adira. And Sinclair's like, well, after all she's done to you, you still want to protect her. And he's like, yeah. So that's that. Back to Garibaldi. He's like, oh my goodness, Gold Channel's being used again. This is like taunting him and making him go crazy. He's like, bro, it's being used again. So he pulls up the transmission, which is coming from Earth, and it's actually Susan. Like, she's been using the channel to monitor her father. So her father has just come out of a coma. It's like her last conversation with him. So, we watch this scene where he's like talking to her and he's saying, how he regrets that he was not more loving and, how
Mm.
he's sorry for all the pain he's caused her.
That's not
um
very Russian of him.
no, but apparently he was against her joining what's it called, he wasn't like,
He wasn't
he
here for
didn't
the
approve of
Babylon
her.
5 life.
Yeah, he was against the Babylon 5 life. Like, he didn't approve of it, but he said, actually he is so proud of her and stuff, and like she forgives him and stuff for like everything. um and then he dies, which is like really depressing. She's like crying and stuff, obviously. So
And Garibaldi's just
emotional
here.
moment. Yeah, and Garibaldi's just watching this, and like obviously he's feeling bad because like all this, and it's just Susan like talking to her father, like, so anyway, cut back to Sinclair and Londo. He's like getting this plan together to find Adira. So he says to Jakar, he gets Jakar involved. And he's gonna see, he like has this like weird little side thing where he's like, okay, Jakar, can you buy the purple files from Trackis, So it's like kind of this plot to catch Trackis out, but obviously you can't just tell Jakar that he's actually trying to help Londo. So he kind of deceives him. So Jakar thinks like, oh great, I can get this dirt on Londo. So and Londo and Sinclair trying to get Talia to help them out. Obviously she's part of Psychor. So
Hmm.
she's like, I'll help you because, this lady's life is at risk, but I have to go by the rules. So they're like, she says, I can listen to Trackis's like surface level thoughts, but I'm not going to dig deep into it. So she, they devise this way of doing it. So basically, Jakar and Talia sit down with Trackis, and he's not very happy about a telepath being there. And she says, well, I'm not going to actually go into your mind, but you have to make sure you don't think of Adira. And then he thinks of Adira, which that's like kind of to trick him. So, and then straight away, okay, she's like, oh, Adira's here because she sees it in his mind. So, Trackis then realizes, oh, bro, I've just been tricked. He tries to
Been diddled.
leave. Yeah, he tries to leave. Do you want to say what Londo did?
And then Londo gets up and he punches him and then kicks him and then goes up and he's like, "Oh, I thank you so much. You can't believe what you just did. You've just saved my entire
Oh,
career and
to
the
to get Jakar.
yeah,
He
to
says that to
Shikar
Jakar,
and
and
then he's fuming because he's like, "No,
because he's like,
I just
"What? I just helped Londo and
Londo."
saved his career and planet and reputation." So he's out
Yeah.
of there because he is like not happy at all. But when Londo knocked out Trackis, he's like, "This one's for Adira," punches him, knocks him out, and this one's for me, kicks him, and that was a good moment for him.
Like,
So, and
damn,
that
he's
was funny.
strong.
Yeah, he is. He's got some weight behind him though.
I
He's
see why Adira likes him.
Yeah, and also, I just love that moment when Shikard just was so angry. That was a good moment.
I was
Um,
like, yeah, get it, girl, get it.
Yeah, but then he's like, bro, you just used me. He's like not happy. So anyway, they've gone and found Adira. Everything is all good. Everything's okay. Cut back to Garibaldi in this little side plot. He goes to see Susan in CNC, and he doesn't actually tell her what he saw. Like he didn't say, "Oh, I know it was you. I saw your dad dying and all of that." He said, "Oh, actually, you're right about the Gold Channel abuses really being a computer error."
Mm.
So, because obviously he feels bad that he just watched this and he did all this and it was just Susan the whole time, and it's not even like she did it in a bad way. It's just like she was just watching her dad, making sure he's all right and stuff. But she's obviously really upset and she's like, I'm on duty, and stuff. Is there anything else you want? And he's like, Susan, can I buy you a drink? And
And
she
she's like, no,
says
no,
no.
no, I'm on duty.
Yeah,
But
she's
she's
like, no,
American,
not
so
on.
I mean, Russian American accent.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
But
American.
but then before he goes, she says, "Well, maybe another time." So that's nice.
Yeah.
So that side plot closed off. Now back to main plot. Londo, Adira's in the customs area. When people, she's got a ship. She's got a ticket to go. Man, she's not staying on Babylon 5. And
Mhm.
Londo goes to Adira and they talk about it, and he says Sinclair convinced trackers to set her free, and obviously she's happy about that because ain't nobody wanted to be a slave.
No.
And he's like, you could stay, you don't have to go back to your home planet. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. The wounds are too fresh. I still love you, but I can't like stay. It hurts too
Mm.
much." But then he gives her the brooch again, and he's like, "Please wear it proudly as a free person." So she does.
Which is
And
very
she
sweet.
promises. Yeah, she's like, "I will come back." So very sad moment, kind of.
They're very
And she
cute though.
goes, yeah. But then as she goes, I notice like the back of her outfit, and it looks like some grandma's like curtains or something, man.
It could
It
be.
looked
It
like
could be.
it looks like
The designing crew probably were like, we need to make an outfit and that. And
and
they're
we
like,
can't be
Grandma,
spending too
Grandma, we
much,
need the
man.
curtains.
Yeah, it's like
Grams.
they went to like a car boot sale or something, and they're
Mm,
like, oh, this is a lot of material. I guess we'll use this.
that'll be okay.
So yeah, we
Because a
can
lot of
just
the
do
times
something with
they always
this.
have like a shoestring budget on sci-fi things, especially in
Oh,
like the
for
first
real.
few seasons. It's like, let's just get this out because all the
And
money's
this is
always
like
like on like the
third
prosthetics for the
episode,
aliens.
and it's like a outfit that's probably not going to be used again because it's not like a
Mm.
main character. Like it's a main
Mm.
character for this episode, but not like a long-term character kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
They never
yeah,
really, you have to remember, like, they're making a lot of episodes. No one ever, like, breaks the bank for, like, one episode as well. The
yeah,
only thing that I
yeah.
can think of is, like, with Arman Bashir that one time in DS9 where they spent so much money on a spinny door that they used, like, 3 times in the episode
Bro,
just to show off that it spins.
you gotta be joking, man. This
Yeah, they went
pick
over
and
budget.
choose,
They're like, we need
bro.
the spinny door because
We
it's
gotta have it,
cool.
man. It's cool. That sounds like some autistic decision, man.
Man, yeah, I mean it
It's like,
was like
but the
someone
door,
whoever
but
wrote
the
it was
door. I
obsessed
love
with
doors,
they were
spinny.
obsessed with 007 James Bond because that someone
For
gave
real.
their favorite trait to Julian
Please.
Bashir and they were like let's
Damn.
just make a Julian
Come
Bashir
on,
episode with
splash the
007.
cash. Yeah. So, and I did want to mention, the whole like Veer having like a Game Boy type thing.
Mm.
In another part of the negotiations, Yakar was playing with it,
Yeah,
which is funny,
and
man. Like
she
this
was
grown
and
man
his assistant she was like looking
assistant.
over and she was like, oh wait, this is really entertaining because
Yeah,
beforehand she
it's
was
like,
like
bro,
annoyed at
you
it
gotta
but
be
now
joking.
she's like the little sibling look watching it like,
For
oh, can
real.
I have a go when
It's
you
like
pass this round, can I have a go?
it's like negotiations and you're just playing games, bro.
Yeah, he's trying to get the tasty
Like
when
he
you
wants
do a
the high
nice
score.
like swipe on the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Candy
For real.
Crush.
For real.
Tasty. You know what I
Yeah.
mean. Divine.
So anyway, so we've recapped the episode. So
Aye.
what characters in this episode stood out to you? What did you like?
I
The
like
characters.
Garibaldi. I like him a
Yeah.
lot. I like him a
Yeah.
lot. You know what? I like
Garibaldi,
the
I
fact
kind of
that I like the fact that we start the episode off with him reading a newspaper. Like, what is bro doing?
true.
You can just like
Yeah.
probably use your computer, let's be
He's like
honest.
he kind of I think he wants to look mysterious type thing. He's like, you know,
He's like, I'm really mysterious. In
for
reality,
real.
he's really not, and he watches
No, he's
cartoons,
just a
and
guy.
he's just a dude. He's just some dude.
He's the
He'd be
security
like, he'd
guy.
excitedly tell you about tennis or something. He's
Yeah.
just a
It
dude.
just it just like and I like the hyperfixation he has. Like he's like, man, I gotta crack this case, and like someone's
Hmm.
shooting his boss, and like he's like,
He's just
oh,
like, that's
someone
really
else go
important.
handle that.
I'll get a separate team on it. I've got to
Yeah.
do this.
Uh,
He's hyper
I
focusing,
gotta
guys.
do this. No one else can be doing this for me. They gotta go deal with my stuff.
He's like,
Um,
I'll finish it when I'm done.
yeah, for real. So that's that. Garibaldi, Baldy Baddie.
Baldy and a
Londo,
baddie.
Londo, kind of feel
Oh,
bad for him,
I
but
like Londo, and I hope he finds true love
yeah.
because
Also, it
he
shows
deserves the
like the
world.
nice side. He's not just like
He's
completely
not.
selfish.
It's like when you find out that Quark is also not selfish, and it's just like,
Yeah. It's like deep down, he does care. It's just like,
it's
and I
the
like the,
pretense that he has to put up. But he's not,
yeah,
it's like with Quark not really being a very good Ferengi when it comes
yeah,
down to it.
yeah,
His heart was in the right place.
yeah. Okay, the next question is, what do you think about the species? This is another episode where we like did not see any, we only saw Centauri and Nan. Like, we did
Um,
not see Orlon, and we did not see Mimbari. No Delenn
no,
in it, which is kind of a shame. Though I do like
yeah,
the beef between them. I guess that's like
it
a
is very
massive.
funny.
I think it alternates though. You have a Nan and Centauri episode, and then you have like a more Mimbari episode.
Mm.
So
And slowly we're gonna learn more and more about the different species. So
yeah, I want to know more about the Vorlon though. Like, what they doing, bro? Like, I want to see more Kosh Fish. I want to see his, like, I don't know. Anyway, do you have any thoughts about, what do you think's gonna happen, next episode? Because the next episode is called Infection, which
I think we're gonna get a doctor-based episode. We're gonna learn about more the doctor and more like it's gonna be COVID-19 all over again, okay?
COVID-19. My nan called COVID-19 COVID-9. Like, she could not talk, like, call it that. I don't know why. COVID-9.
COVID-9.
And it
It
was
could have
like
been.
it was like a whole year into the pandemic. So it's like, bro, you've heard this name so many times, and you can't say it right. But it's kind of funny little name. I wish we got some more like Garibaldi goofiness though. Like last time
Yeah,
we
he
got
was a little
Daffy Duck.
goofy with the newspaper and stuff and trying to
That's
figure it out, but it was then quite solemn, you know?
I'm trying to find the names. I need character names. Where is my tab? I have too many tabs open, man. Too many tabs. Where's my regular? Oh, Stephen Franklin. That's his name, the Doctor. So I think he's gonna appear more in next episode because we've only seen him once, I think. So I think we're gonna see him more. Um. So yeah, I wonder if he'll. I don't know how he compares to Julian though. I feel like.
Anyone
I feel
beats
like
Julian Bashir.
yeah, that's not a hard
It's not a
definition.
hard thing to beat.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that will come up more. And also, oh, and the cafe. What was that called? Fresh Air.
The fresh air.
I want to see more things like that. More of
Yeah,
the
it's
just
reminded me like,
life, life on
DS9 had
Babylon
like the
5.
Klingon restaurant with the rack, etc.
Yeah.
I just want to know what like alien dishes are and stuff. I love that sort of world building and like trying to cook them
Oh,
as
I
well.
do.
I love whenever
Also,
there's a cookbook.
I hope there's more. I hope there's better food than Jala because to me, didn't really seem that appetizing. Like, I think I can't get out of my head that is hot jelly.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm like hot green jelly. Like like
That ain't gonna be nice.
that ain't what I'm thinking. And it was like a little bit frothy and stuff, and I don't know, man. It seemed like a more of a toddler type thing, something that a toddler would be eating.
He got that tubby custard.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But tubby custard is lit, man. Like, like
I wanted to
everyone
eat
was
that so
wanting tubby
bad.
custard. I know. Like, what does it taste like?
I don't know.
I really want some. Oh, that reminds me. Charlie and Lola had the pink
Yes,
milk,
the
and I
pink
can't
milk.
remember. Is it Lauren Child, lady that did it?
Yeah.
She, the author. Apparently, she that came. I can't remember exactly where it came from, but whoever like did it would just put like a some red food dye in the milk and just called it pink milk. And I was like, why can't it be strawberry milkshake, man? Like, I don't want just milk. Like, I don't like just drinking milk by itself. I want like milkshake, you know?
Yeah, I never liked like milkshake. I still don't, but the only I used to love strawberry milkshakes just because of Charlie and Lola. Like I was like,
Yeah.
this is my jam.
I want tubby custard, but I want like strawberry flavored tubby custard because I feel like that would be so good.
I feel like the actual ingredients are gonna be like mashed potato dyed or something, you know?
Oh, like some really cracked, like not very appetizing thing. Teletubbies is on my list for off-duty logs because I could
Oh, nice.
on that, man. Like the conspiracy theories on Teletubbies is cracked, man.
There's so many that I can think of where it's like some good
Or
theories, and I'm just
like
like,
radiation and like entertaining the sun baby and
Oh
like
yeah, I've seen that
just
one.
like is like so cracked. Oh, I heard something. Holly, sidetrack.
Mm.
My brother said that Labyrinth for like the I don't know something anniversary. It's come back in cinemas, and if so, if it's coming to cinemas like here, we gotta go and dress up, man. I gotta see anything Jim Henson. I have to see it. Holly, gotta drag you into it. We gotta see Labyrinth if it actually is coming in cinemas.
Hmm.
Like that would be such an experience. I went with your brothers and your mum and stuff to they brought Back to the Future back in the cinemas for the anniversary, and you didn't go, and you were like, the guy, just like sleeps really weirdly, and
He
I
sleeps
agree,
so
man.
weirdly, and I was like, I
Lies,
can't get over Marty McFly sleeping weirdly. If I see that one more
yeah.
time, I will like, I would get the
Also,
projector and flip
how's
upside down.
anyone
Okay,
sleeping? Yeah, how's anyone sleeping in jeans, bro?
it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I have to be comfy if I'm sleeping. Any something like anything is not right, I cannot sleep. Like I can't sleep in a car, I can't sleep in uncomfortable pajamas. It has to be comfy. So like jeans, man, that would kill me. And they're not even like modern jeans, they're 80s jeans, which like would kill me. So yeah. I have a little bit I love jeans, but I have one pair only. And like I wear them out and then I come home and get changed because I can't be dealing with that, man. I have to have comfort. Anyway, but Doc, he was so good, man. He was like me, like my energy, like the chaotic. Like I feel like I would lock myself away too and just do these crazy things and be like the town like crazy person.
Mm.
Also that was really funny because the story writing, like the first little bit of the movie, is like my type of story writing when like so many random things just happen. Like the part where who are the foreign people that came and the assassins? I can't remember. But that
Oh
was
yeah, them.
such a funny moment because the vehicle they came in, the minivan type thing. I feel like that's the type of thing like the cutesy like Pinterest girls get like these days. Like it was like
Mm.
a blue like little cute minivan, and just to have these like assassins just like use that as their vehicle was really funny. I loved that moment though. But anyway, that's a sidetrack. But any closing thoughts about the episode or next episode or anything?
We're most probably going to be seeing the more of the doctor, more seeing what diseases there are, etc., etc., that sort of jam, that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
there might be even potentially like I might be thinking in more modern terms, but like a lockdown of some sort, and like seeing
Oh
like and
yeah.
seeing more of the station that way, like if like certain regions of it are like full of this whatever the disease or the infection
Yeah,
is,
like a
we might
isolation.
find see more world building, more idea of what people, different species and stuff, and all that sort of jam. So I think it might be something like that, but I do not know yet. So
I
exciting
feel
stuff.
like, yeah, I feel like this episode, while it was interesting, it didn't give you much more when it
Than
comes
what we
to the
started with.
story. Yeah, it doesn't give you any more like
But I
progress in the
must say, I did
story.
enjoy it.
I did enjoy it. It was just like it wasn't like a critical like part of the story, like the
Mm.
5 year story. It was more just like building on the characters more type of thing, seeing more of the characters. So and then just more of the beef between the Nan and Centauri. So
Yeah.
overall, I like this episode. But
Mm.
any Londo heavy episode, I think it's gonna be good. So yeah. Any
Oh
more
yeah. Any more? Any more
any
what?
more thoughts? Sorry.
I think we've covered
I
the
think
it
we've
all.
covered it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Oh yeah.
close out then.
Bye for now.
Wait. Gotta plug stuff. Check out our link tree. All the links are there. I'm not gonna go through them all, but like social media, Patreon, website. Just go to the link tree. It will be in the description, and everything is there if you want to find out anything connected to us. Also, I wanted to mention, okay, the steampunk thing on the podcast. So basically, part of our plan is that we want to have like a physical shop at some point, and maybe like kind of a cafe type thing, but like a neurodiverse type thing. Maybe like a calm cafe. But the main thing is we want a shop like for like gaming stuff, board games, board game accessories. But my dad had the idea that while we're not gonna have like a proper uniform, he wants it to be like steampunk themed clothes, and I love that idea. Just like anything steampunk. So yeah, that's just gonna be part of the budget for our business, just for the uniform. And I really like that idea, so I just wanted to mention that. But
Yeah.
next week is your week, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing, or you're just
It will be a surprise.
a surprise episode? So tune in next week for whatever Holly's gonna do. Then the week after, Babylon 5 again. So bye bye.
Bye.